Yo, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another What If video, and in today's What If video, we'll be doing part 9 of What If Sonic and Miraculous Ladybug were in the same universe. Last time, we tackled the events of both Sonic Generations and the Miraculous Season 4 finale, which resulted in modern Sonic, current Ladybug, and current Cat Noir running into classic Sonic, past Ladybug, and past Cat Noir. And shortly after beating modern Eggman, classic Eggman, and Shadow Moth, the evil duo of modern Eggman and Shadow Moth managed to get all the Miraculouses minus the Ladybug and Cat Miraculous from Felix in exchange for the Peacock Miraculous. And as Felix headed back to London, Sonic, Shadow, Silver, Ladybug, Cat Noir all transformed into their super forms, ready to take on both Dr. Eggman and now Monarch, no longer Shadow Moth, in another fight. Now with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right back in to where we left off. We open up on where we last left off as we see Gabriel, now as Monarch, and Dr. Eggman making their announcement as Parsons cheer on both Ladybug and Sonic. However, both Dr. Eggman and Monarch's announcement is interrupted as Super Sonic, Super Ladybug, Super Shadow, Super Cat Noir, and Super Silver make their presence known, as Super Ladybug says,
Cat Moth, Shadow Moth, or Monarch, whatever your name is.
And Dr. Eggman, you'll never steal Cat Noir's Miraculous or mine. And I'll never turn myself in. And we won't stop fighting until we've got every single one of the others back. And you'll never win, Dr. Eggman. Super Shadow then throws a barrage of Chaos Spheres at Monarch's shelter, and with the help of Super Cat Noir's staff, they manage to break it, causing the announcement to end, and also causing Paris to cheer as Super Sonic and Ladybug step up and tell Paris,
You will not be prisoners to Monarch.
and will not be forced into silence by both Egghead and Loser Moth. We're gonna take them down once and for all. We then cut to both Dr. Eggman and Gabriel, with the two telling the Kwamis that they're their slaves, with Badniks surrounding the Kwamis to make sure that they don't try anything funny. Eggman then suggests something to Gabriel, going back at time to defeat both Ladybug, Cat Noir, and Sonic. Gabriel agrees and likes the idea and ends up transforming into Monarch, while Eggman hops in his Eggmobile, and the evil duo head into the Birdo with a couple of Badniks. Meanwhile, we cut to Super Sonic, Super Ladybug, Super Cat Noir, Super Shadow, and Super Silver, as they see their future selves with Bunny Nicks grabbing them and bringing them into the burrow. And as this is happening, the evil duo managed to find a point in time where Sonic, Ladybug, and Cat Noir were almost defeated, that being during the opening events of Sonic Unleashed. However, before the two of them could jump at that point in time, Super Sonic comes in using a homing attack, throwing the evil duo back and shocking them all, with Monarch asking, Ladybug? Cat Noir? Sonic? Shadow? Silver? How? How could you follow us through time?
I'm the one with the rabbit miraculous.
Amateur. Time is like a river with multiple streams, and the burrow is where they all come together. You with me?
What is she saying, Doctor? What she's saying is that the burrow's like a car, and both of you have the keys. Yep.
We're gonna take back the miraculous you stole from us right here and now.
The Kwamis then appear, begging the heroes to save them, but Monarch gets control over them once again. But before he and Eggman can leave, Super Shadow quickly uses Chaos Control. Time slows down as Super Sonic decides to use this opportunity to grab a Miraculous. That Miraculous he grabs being the Snake Miraculous, and as he goes to grab the Fox Miraculous, Monkey Miraculous, and Turtle Miraculous, time unfreezes, and Monarch gets a cheap shot on Super Sonic, preventing him from getting the Fox Miraculous, but it's unable to get the Snake Miraculous back with the Dog Miraculous, as Super Sonic gets it preventing it. However, Eggman uses this opportunity to distract them, as Monarch creates illusions of both himself and Eggman, forcing the heroes to take on the illusions, as both Eggman and Monarch use this opportunity to use Venom on Bunny Nicks, causing her to be immobilized. And as the evil duo attempts to steal her Miraculous, Super Silver prevents them by using his telekinesis to throw the evil duo back, as Super Shadow uses a Chaos Blast, throwing the evil duo on the ground, as lightning streaks crawl up Monarch's body as he screams in pain. Before the heroes can attempt to take back any of their Miraculouses, Eggman distracts them with a couple of Badniks and his tech, allowing both him and Monarch to get away. Super Sonic then puts on the Snake Miraculous, as Super Shadow hands Super Ladybug the Rabbit Miraculous, with him saying, Here, only the whole of the Rabbit Miraculous can pull through time. Super Ladybug contemplates, and after a little bit, she looks at Shadow and ends up saying, You have it, Shadow. You want me to control time? Yes, I trust you. Yeah. You know you can handle it. Same to you, Sonic. Use the Snake Miraculous. Both Super Sonic and Super Shadow smile as they activate their transformations. Saz, Scale, Slither. Fluff, clockwise. The heroes head through multiple points in time, battling both Dr. Eggman and Monarch, with them managing to get the Dragon Miraculous, allowing Silver to use it. And after a while, the heroes think they managed to defeat the evil duo, but are distracted, allowing the evil duo to get away. As the heroes manage to find a young Master Fu and get the dog Miraculous, and they manage to find the current Alex and the dog Miraculous, with Super Ladybug explaining to her.
Once we retrieve the miraculous of time, you won't return it to me. You'll have to continue wearing it in order to protect it until Monarch is defeated.
Keep it? That means...
You won't be able to return to this time right away.
Alex nods her head and transforms into Canine Girl. And once transformed, Supersonic transfers some super energy to her, allowing her to don her own super form. And the heroes head off to find both Eggman and Monarch. Meanwhile, both Eggman and Gabriel have regrouped with Natalie, with Eggman pointing out that they can use the Time Miraculous to bring back his wife. Thus, with the plan decided, the two head back into the burrow, with Eggman also planning to use the Bunny Miraculous to kill Sonic when he was younger. However, the two were distracted and lured into a trap, allowing Super Canine Girl to get the Bunny Miraculous, as Super Silver uses Water Dragon on the evil duo and prevents them from moving by holding them with his telekinesis, with Supersonic also using his opportunity to grab the Fox Miraculous and unify it with the Snake Miraculous. Along with this, Eggman's tech is mostly destroyed and his Eggmobile badly damaged, and Monarch falls on the ground from two new Miraculouses, allowing the heroes to quickly head back to the Burrow and get the future Alex her Miraculous, while both Eggman and Monarch are transported back to the present day, with Super Ladybug, Super Sonic with the Snake Miraculous, Super Cat Noir, Super Shadow with the Fox Miraculous, and Super Silver with the Snake Miraculous surrounding the evil duo. However, Eggman would manage to call on both Orbot and Cubot to distract the heroes, allowing both him and Monarch to get away and plan their next move, while the heroes regroup with the others. Meanwhile, we cut to both Gabriel and Eggman as they're discussing their next move, as although they still have majority of their Miraculouses, they still lost a few. However, Eggman wound up turning to Gabriel and wound up telling him that he's in the middle of crafting their next plan. Along with this, battery production will also be increased substantially, with it going around the clock 24/7, as they do still have an advantage. Alongside this, their new plan would also involve a mysterious location that they could use to their advantage, with Eggman telling Gabriel about this location, with him explaining how it's the Lost Hex, home of mysterious warriors. Eggman would also end up showing Gabriel a prototype of machine designed to take Earth's energy. Eggman would then tell Gabriel, with us having Earth's energy, we can use this to power both the Miraculouses and the Badniks to make them more powerful. Alongside this, if we have the 6 mysterious warriors who live on the Lost Hex, we can use them to their advantage. Who are these 6 warriors you speak of, Doctor? Eggman smiles evilly and says, the Deadly 6. We then cut to Sonic, Ladybug, Cat Noir, Shadow, and Silver as they're meeting up with the rest of the heroes to discuss their next move, with Ladybug also finding Alia, Luke, and Kagami and handing them their Miraculouses, while they're giving a similar explanation she gave to Alex, with her saying that if they owed their Miraculouses, they would be less likely of a chance that both Monarch and Eggman would manage to steal them, since the Miraculouses would be separated. Sonic would then end up suggesting, why don't we lead them to a trap since they're likely planning their next move? We could, but we also need to confront Felix and ask him why he sold the Miraculouses, and why he gave them to the enemy. They all agree and contact Suhan so they can meet up with him and catch him up to speed. Meanwhile, we cut to Eggman and Gabriel, and Eggman would end up telling Gabriel, preparations are almost complete, and the conch is ready. But I'm thinking we're going to need a bit more time. Do you think you could track them for slightly longer? I can, Doctor. Good, but might I suggest we get some new allies? What do you mean, Doctor? Well, we already have that Lila Rossi girl helping us out, but might I suggest a few more candidates? Go on. I think it would be best if we also recruit both that Kagami girl's mother, Tomeo, and the mayor's daughter, Chloe. After all, both of them are very powerful as Akumas, and after all, Kagami and Adrian are quite similar since they were made the same way. You do have a good point, Doctor. I'll negotiate with Tomeo. Perfect. And now I'll approach Chloe, but also for Chloe, might I recommend handing her the Beam Miraculous? Gabriel paused and think for a bit, but would eventually nod his head in agreement, and would end up handing the Beam Miraculous to Eggman. Eggman would end up smiling and would turn to Pollen and say, I recommend you know your place, or else. Pollen nods her head as Eggman heads off to recruit Chloe, alongside Orbot and Cubot. Meanwhile, after informing Suhan of the situation, he agrees to head back to the Temple of Guardians to gather reinforcements as the heroes all head to London to confront Felix, but his mother tells them that he isn't there, And although majority of the heroes believe her, Shadow, on the other hand, doesn't and looks at her suspiciously. And once everyone begins to leave, Shadow leaves a recorder to see if Felix's mother is lying, and so we can also gather more information.
The heroes then all head back to Paris to discuss their next move.
And to spy on both Eggman and Monarch to see what their next move is. Meanwhile, we cut to Eggman as he hides in the shadows, waiting for the right time to approach Chloe. And once Chloe is alone, that's when Eggman makes his appearance known. "Hello, Chloe." Chloe's eyes widen in shock as she asks, "What do you want?" "I'm here to offer you a gift." "Well then, what's this gift you speak of?" Eggman then shows her the Be Miraculous as a smile appears on Chloe's face. Eggman will continue with them saying, "All I need you to do is to join both mine and Monarch's alliance, and once you do, you can keep this permanently." Chloe smiles and accepts as Eggman then hands her a device. Eggman explains how with this device she can call on any badnik, use the Eggnet, and can contact everyone who's part of the alliance, while also finding out where all the bases are that Eggman has planted around the world. Chloe nods her head as Eggman leaves them, laughing with them, saying, "Everything's going perfectly to plan." We then cut to the next day where we see Alex's dad explains to the class that Alex won't be attending school for a while. Alongside this, a lot has happened overnight, the most notable things being Marinette deciding she needs to stop liking Adrian until both Eggman and Monarch are defeated, and Adrian beginning to realize that he likes Marinette. Alongside this, the heroes have been patrolling a lot more recently, but there's no Akumas, nor Badniks, no Metal Sonic have been popping up. Along with this, Rouge and Omega would begin to try to hack into security cameras around Paris alongside Gun, with Gun's Paris division increasing ever so more to try to find where the evildoer are. However, unbeknownst to the heroes, the reason the evildoer hasn't been attacking is because Eggman is in the middle of working out their next big plan, and they're also beginning to build up their alliance, with Tomeo fully agreeing to join both Eggman and Monarch. We then cut to a few weeks later, as we see both Marinette and Adrian arrive at school, while the Sonic Cats are still keeping a lookout for both Badniks and Akumas. Along with this, Silver and a couple of the other heroes are trying to find the Chaos Emeralds and aren't in the city at the moment. However, unbeknownst to the heroes, Chloe, now re-akumatized into Miracle Queen, and Tomeo, now re-akumatized into Ikeria Gozen, are waiting for the right time to strike. With Badniks on standby, Eggman would then tell them over comms, "Now." The two then jump out from their hiding spots. Alongside this, the squad of Badniks would also appear as well and begin to destroy Marinette's school. As Marinette, Adrian, and Alia go find a place to transform, the Sonic Cats distract the evildoer, with Sonic spinaching into them, while Shadow throws multiple Chaos Spheres, and Omega unleashes his gunfire as the miraculous heroes arrive with Cat Noir saying, "So, we finally hear from both Eggman and Monarch, and the best they can do is build Ikeria Gozen and Miracle Queen. We still need to focus, Cat." "She's right. The two of them alone can pack quite a punch, but since they're teaming up, this isn't going to be easy." "You're right. We can do this, guys. Don't worry."
Miracle Queen then ends up noticing the heroes.
She sends her Wasp to get them under control as she also sends Badniks after them, but Knuckles manages to destroy all the Badniks as Espio throws his ninja stars at the Wasp.
Raikou and Viperion would then attempt to attack from behind. However, Ikeria Gozen ends up noticing this and ends up attacking the duo.
Behind, the Reina Rouge uses her illusion to trick her as Vector throws a piece of rubble at her, but she easily breaks through it. Tails, however, would come in with Spinash into them. But what she doesn't know as she's in the middle of fighting Tails is that this was a distraction to allow Shadow to use a Chaos Blast, and when Shadow uses it, Ikeria is thrown back, along with Miracle Queen, and when Ladybug goes to call on Lucky Charm, she's all of a sudden thrown back as Lila's new akumatized form, Hoaxer, appears, shocking the heroes as she calls on multiple illusions. By the way, if you're all wondering how Hoaxer has access to illusions when the original show, all she was able to do as Hoaxer was mind control people, Eggman would end up suggesting to Monarch that they need to give Hoaxer a few new powers, so just heads up to that. Along with this, Ikeria and Miracle Queen also get up. The heroes are now surrounded by both Badniks and clones of the villains as they begin to destroy Paris, and the heroes manage to dodge all the attacks as Ladybug calls on and she ends up getting a fishing rod. From here, everything begins to play out similar to the original episode. However, before the heroes can go ahead and grab the Akumas, Eggman arrives in his Eggmobile, distracting the villains with his Badniks and allowing the akumatized villains to get away, much to the heroes' frustration as they're forced to turn their attention towards Eggman. However, Eggman manages to get away as the Badniks begin to overwhelm the heroes, forcing them to retreat, as both Eggman and Gabriel meet back up with the villains in their base inside the Mystic Jungle. Eggman there discusses their next move, with both Eggman and Gabriel showing off the Rings of Alliance, with the two of them explaining its purpose. Alongside this, Eggman would tell the group that the Lost Hex plan is ready to go, and that he's already met the leader of the Zeti, Zavok, and has told him to round up the entirety of the Deadly Six. Alongside this as well, Eggman would also show the group the conch he's using to control the Zeti, and that all Bannock factories are fully built on their layer in the Lost Hex. Thus, the group prepared to head to the Lost Hex, with Hoaxer, Miracle Queen, and Ikaria heading to it ahead of time, when both Eggman and Monarch managed to gather the final few animals they'll need to power the Badniks. But they also end up catching the attention of the heroes, forcing the two to quickly head to the Lost Hex, as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Shadow, Ladybug, Cat Noir, Raina Rouge, and Viperion follow after them in a new model of the Tornado. Now, if you're wondering why more characters are going along with Sonic, Tails, Ladybug, Cat Noir, well, it's because there's a lot more enemies to deal with. It's not just going to be Eggman, Monarch, and the Deadly Six. They'll have to worry about the other three akumatized villains that are going along with them. Plus, the Deadly Six are going to be way stronger here than they were in the original Lost World, simply because of Monarch. He's going to power them up by akumatizing him. So that's why more heroes are coming along with them, to provide assistance, because if they don't, there's a very high chance that Sonic, Tails, Ladybug, and Cat Noir are going to have a hard time and more likely destroyed if they went alone. But anyway, back to the what if. The heroes fly to the sky, not too far behind the evil duo, and after a while they manage to catch up to them, with Sonic saying,
Drop the critters, Eggman!
Eggman pulls out a bullet and presses it as both he and Monarch turn back to the heroes, smiling, with Eggman saying,
You insist.
Whoa, that's harsh!
"They're willing to go that far?" Sonic, Knuckles, and Ladybug all attempt to reach for the capsule, but miss as Tails catches the trio, and the three heroes death clear the evil duo. Tails then tells the group,
You'll have to swing back around for it!
Eggman and Monarch laugh as they watch this, with Eggman saying,
Predictable.
"Agreed, Doctor."
He must really love those things.
Both Eggman and Monarch shove both Orbon and Cubot out of the way as Eggman pulls out a laser pistol and manages to hit the tornado's wing, catching the heroes all off guard, with Sonic saying, "Wait, hold on, what's that in the clouds?" Ladybug ends up pointing to the Lost Hex, shocking Tails as he ends up saying,
That must be the Lost Hex! Cool!
"The Lost what?" "Less looking and talking and more landing. Sonic's right, we could potentially crash."
Right, I can land this, but it's gonna be bumpy.
We then cut to both Eggman and Monarch as they arrive at the Zeti Castle, their main base on the Lost Hex, and greet the three akumatized villains along with the Deadly Six, including their leader, Zavok. Eggman would then begin to show the Deadly Six how to build Badniks, with them explaining,
Transformation 101. Bunnies to badniks. Boom! Instant army.
"I must admit, all of you are quite the conquerors." "Yes, we are. After all, we conquered all of you, and with your help we could finally defeat both that irritating blue hedgehog and all his friends, but also those annoying miraculous holders." Monarch, Eggman, and the three akumatized villains then turn their attention back to Badnik production as Zavok talks with the Deadly Six, with them saying, "So, they want to destroy that blue hedgehog and all of his friends and those miraculous holders."
Yeah, well, I feel like destroying something. That's what I like about you, Zaz. Always ready for a fight, even before you know what you're fighting. You bet! Bring it on and I'll rip it up! Win or lose, I learned something about our enemy.
The villains then head out to find the heroes. Meanwhile, we cut to all the heroes as they're exploring the Lost Hex, minus Tails and Viperion, as the two stay behind to fix the tornado. And as the rest explore, and after a while, they manage to find the villains, with Sonic making their presence known. "Hey, we've been looking for you both, Baldy McNose here, Loser Moth. And who are all your friends here?"
Friends? These are nobody's friends. They are the Deadly Six, and they are your worst enemies.
"Zaz, why don't you show them how you do things up here?"
With pleasure. I've been itching for a fight all day.
"I think you're itching because you need a bath." "Cat, now's not the time." "But it's true."
Are you disrespecting me? Maybe.
Either way, I recommend you move aside. You can't take us all on and defeat us all.
I'm gonna mess you up!
Your wish. The group of villains fly back to Zeddy Castle as the heroes prepare themselves for the fight. And once Zaz reveals his moon mech and attempts to crush the heroes, the fight begins. The heroes manage to dodge all of Zaz's attacks from his moon mech as he attempts to crush them. But after a little bit, Zaz then flies up to the air and fires stars at the heroes as they dodge, and Shadow manages to teleport behind Zaz and fires a barrage of chaos spheres, forcing him to dodge, as Knuckles uses this opportunity to glide on Zaz's moon mech, climb on top of it, and punch him in the face, as Rain Rouge creates illusion to trick the Zeddy, allowing Sonic to do a homing attack followed by Spin Dash, while Ladybug uses her yo-yo to throw Zaz on the ground. Cat Noir then hits him with his baton, throwing him into a wall, allowing Amy to hit him in the face with her hammer. Rain Rouge also uses the opportunity to throw Zaz, causing him to go flying back in his moon mech. However, before the heroes can fully beat Zaz, a Akuma's enter his moon mech, and Monarch symbol appears on his face, shocking the heroes, as Zaz then transforms into Nightfall and roars and begins to fire multiple stars at the heroes who manage to dodge, as Sonic attempts to spin dash, only for Nightfall to catch it and throw Sonic into a wall, badly damaging him. However, both Shadow and Ladybug use the opportunity to attack Nightfall, while Amy, Cat Noir, and Rain Rouge distract them. Along with this, Knuckles punches Nightfall in the face and manages to glide out of his attacks, sending Nightfall flying back as Sonic gets back up and uses the opportunity to use a drop dash into him, followed up by a homing attack, while Ladybug uses this opportunity to break the moon ball, allowing her to devilize the Akuma. And Zaz is once again back to normal. However, before they manage to deal with him once and for all, Zaz uses this opportunity to distract them, allowing him to get away and head back to Zeddy Castle. From here, everything in the desert plays out mostly the same, including their fight with Zomnom, all the way up to the point where we see both Eggman and Monarch telling the Zeddy what to do next. Along with this, the heroes realize that both Eggman and Monarch are controlling the Zeddy with a conch, and that Sonic would attempt to knock the conch out of Eggman's hands. However, Hoaxer notices and attacks Sonic. Along with this, the rest of the group notices and begins to attack the heroes, forcing them all to retreat to the beach. And once they're at the beach, the heroes immediately begin to dig into Sonic for going in to attack both Eggman and Monarch without a plan. Sonic ended up arguing back with him, saying, "The reason I did it was so they wouldn't have any control over the Six, and they'd be forced to retreat, allowing us to beat them. But did you consider what might happen if that didn't work? Also, why didn't you tell us? If you did, we could have come up with a better plan." Well, I'm sorry, guys. I just jumped in without thinking. Hey, it's fine. Besides, we still have time to beat them. Yeah, we're not beat yet, Sonic. It'll be fine. Sonic went up smirking at the heroes when fist bubbled Ladybug, and the heroes went him heading off. From here, everything plays out mostly the same, all the way up to the forest, where a trap is set up for both Sonic and Ladybug, as at this point in time, Zik and Xena has already been defeated, and Zora has been sent out. And at this point in time as well, both Eggman and Monarch are prepared to send out Zavok, just in case Zora fails. Both Sonic and Ladybug, thinking the animals are trapped inside of it, would attempt to push the button, only for both Tails and Amy to realize it's a trap and would push the two out of the way as they fall into a trap with Sonic screaming, "Tails! Amy!" However, it's too late. The machine is teleported back to both Eggman and Monarch, and Sonic will be pissed off with him saying,
Rotten, sneaky!
"Sonic, calm down. We'll get them back." "She's right, Sonic. We'll get them back. You being angry won't do anything, and if anything, it'll make it worse, considering the fact that Monarch used this opportunity to akumatize them." Sonic, realizing they're right, would calm himself down when I'm saying, "You're right. You need to calm down." The heroes end up nodding their head, and they would end up heading off, and would continue to explore, and would manage to find Zora, but quickly go ahead and manage to beat them. Meanwhile, we cut back to both Eggman and Monarch, as they're in the middle of seeing the process for its energy that has been taking, when the trap arrives, with both Miracle and Hoaxer ready to apprehend both Sonic and Ladybug, only for the trap to open to reveal both Tails and Amy shocking the group, while also pissing off both Eggman and Monarch. However, Zavok would end up pointing something out to the group, that they could turn Tails and Amy into badniks and use them to defeat the heroes. Eggman and Monarch, upon hearing this idea, would end up smiling and would agree, and would begin the process of roboticizing the two. Alongside this, Zora would end up arriving back at the base, defeated, and would end up telling them that the heroes are almost there. Eggman would end up telling the group to get prepared, while both he and Monarch continue working on turning both Tails and Amy into badniks, while Zavok heads out to deal with the heroes. Meanwhile, we cut to the heroes as they arrive at the final area of the Lost Hex, shortly after beating Zavok and forcing him to retreat. They quickly destroy all the badniks in the area and manage to arrive at the villain's base, Zeddy Castle, where it's quiet. Too quiet. The heroes have managed to find the machine that's taking Earth's energy. However, before they can attempt to deactivate it, the deadly six reveal themselves, alongside Hoaxer, Miracle Queen, and Ikeria Gozen. The heroes demand to know where both Tails and Amy are, and Zavok went up laughing with them, saying, "Well, why don't you all give up and join your friends?" The roboticized Tails and Amy reveal themselves, shocking the heroes with Sonic saying, "Tails! Amy!" The two roboticized heroes don't respond as both Eggman and Monarch reveal themselves, laughing. Sonic grits his teeth and asks, "What did you do?" "Simple. We just guaranteed our victory. Monarch, now!" Monarch releases an Akuma as it enters into Chip's bracelet Sonic still has on him. Monarch attempts to gain control of Sonic as Sonic fights the Akuma in his mind. Ladybug, Cat Noir, and the other heroes end up telling Sonic to fight it as Monarch struggles to gain control of Sonic, as he quickly realizes that Sonic's mind isn't going to be easy to control. The Zeddy would attempt to help Monarch, only for Shadow to unleash a massive Chaos Blast, throwing the Zeddy back. Shadow, Knuckles, Rain Erosion, and Viper begin to fight the Deadly Six, Hoaxer, Miracle Queen, and Ikeria, while Sonic continues to fight the Akuma with the help of both Ladybug and Cat Noir. And after a while, Sonic would manage to get the Akuma out of his mind, pissing off both Eggman and Monarch while also shocking them, with Eggman commenting how he's impressed. Eggman then would end up ordering both Tails and Amy to attack the heroes. Tails and Amy would ready their weapons and point them at the trio. The trio ended up putting their hands up, with Sonic saying, "Tails, Amy, please, we don't want to fight you. I know you're in there. Fight it. Snap out of it." Tails and Amy's eyes would then turn back to normal, and they would turn towards Eggman and Monarch and would fire their weapons at them, with them screaming "never," forcing them to dodge, shocking evil doing, and forcing them to retreat. The five heroes would then turn their attention to the other villains and would help the other heroes defeat the Deadly Six. However, Miracle Queen, Hoaxer, and Ikeria Gossip would manage to get away and would meet up with both Eggman and Monarch, as they have one last trick up their sleeve. Meanwhile, Tails would attempt to try and reverse the machine after both he and Amy are de-roboticized, only to find out that the machine is off. Sonic, confused, ended up asking,
Who could have done that?
"Guys, look." The heroes turn around and see Monarch, Eggman, Miracle Queen, Hoaxer, and Ikeria Gozen piloting the Egg Robo, shocking the heroes, with the two saying how with Earth's energy they'll be able to defeat them and empower the Miraculouses. Sonic, Knuckles, Amy, Shadow, Ladybug, Cat Noir, Rain, and Region 5 appear and prepare themselves for the fight, as Tails attempts to reactivate the machine, and the final battle begins. The Egg Robo fires multiple energy projectiles made out of fire at the group, forcing them all to dodge, as Sonic uses drop dashes and homing attacks on one of its hands, while Ladybug, Cat Noir, and Shadow attack its other hand. While Knuckles, Amy, Rain, and Rouge, and Viper attack the middle. However, the Egg Robo isn't going down just yet, as it then fires multiple electric attacks, throwing Knuckles, Sonic, Ladybug, Cat Noir flying back. However, Shadow would use the opportunity to throw Chaos Spears at it, allowing the heroes to fall back to regroup, and thus both Sonic and Shadow manage to get everyone out of the way as it fires more attacks, while Shadow then throws the Chaos Lance at the Egg Robo, damaging it more, while Cat Noir then calls on Cat Noir then destroys the Egg Robo's left arm, where Knuckles damages the middle with a powerful punch combined with Amy's Pico Hammer. The villains beginning to get desperate, attempt to fire a bunch of projectile attacks at the heroes. The heroes manage to quickly dodge and counter. Shadow would then end up using a Chaos Blast, destroying the Egg Robo's remaining arm, and only leaving the middle left, which quickly destroyed with a combined homing attack from both Sonic and Shadow, and Ladybug using Lucky Charm. The villains quickly manage to trick the heroes, allowing them to get away, while Tails reverses the effect of both Eggman and Monarch's machine, giving Earth all his energy back. The heroes then head back to Tornado, and manage to fly back down to Earth. Meanwhile, cut to the villains as they arrive at their base in Mystic Jungle, with all of them discussing the next move, when all of a sudden, Orbon interrupts them with them saying,
Boss, something just appeared outside the base.
"What is it?"
It's a, red ruby.
Eggman and the other villains head outside and see the ruby, as Eggman walks up to it and grabs it, only for him to see a vision of a great war, where Sonic, Ladybug, Cat Noir, and all the other heroes, both miraculous heroes and Sonic casts, are defeated. Alongside this, he gets visions and flashbacks to the events of Sonic Mania, remembering the horrible heavies and what happened there. And it suddenly dawns on him what it is he's holding, with him saying, "Oh, I remember you very well." An evil smirk then grows on his face as he begins to laugh maniacally with them, saying, "And I know just what to do with you." We then cut to Team Dark as they listen to the device that Shadow led to Felix's place, and they realized Felix's mother lied, just as Shadow suspected. Shadow ended up speaking up with him, saying, "So she was lying."
Appears so. We need to capture him.
"But we can't just go in guns blazing." "She's right. We need to come up with a plan on how to deal with them." Rouge nods her head as Team Dark begins to discuss their next move. And that's where we're going to end this what if for right now. So, what did you guys think? Did you expect to see Shadow suspicious of Felix's mother? Or did you expect more characters to go to Sonic, Tails, Ladybug, Captain War to the Lost Hex? Or did you expect me to adapt Sonic Lost World at all, since I have seen some comments of people asking if I was going to do Lost World or not? I did consider it, but I decided I would do it, considering the fact now that we know that the IDW Sonic comics are canon and Sonic Prime's canon, and yes, I will be adapting them. I kind of need to adapt Lost World as Zeddy or big parts of those stories, plus Force as well, so yeah. I do hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below what you thought of this and all the stuff that you saw here, and get hyped for the next part as we finally jump again to Forces, or more specifically, Episode Shadow. So I'll see you all in the next one.